Hi, welcome to Pop Pop's Prison Survival Guide. Um, Today I'm actually filming this from my own house again, so we don't have the distraction of my grandson jumping around and kicking us in the balls every 2 seconds. What I want to talk to you about today is my first impressions and what to expect when you actually walk on to a wing for the first time. Uh, right. First of all, the first time I walked on a wing, I wasn't as old as I was, probably not as wise as I was, although I did think I knew everything at that time, as you do. Uh, right, I took this off my prison file, and this was from the first time that I actually went to prison. So have a look. Before, after. Now, this would have been 1992. My perm's out, so I'd probably been in maybe up to 6 months to a year. I came off a file from it was either social work or medical or something like that. But last time when I was getting out, she left the room, so I managed to take that off. I thought it was a nice little souvenir. Uh, Anyway, first time on the wing, 92. As I mentioned before, it was drugs charges that I got sent to prison for the very first time for. Uh, there was like sort of 7 charges, and if you added all the charges up, it worked out to something like 27 years. But like it was 5, 4, 4, 4, 3, 3, 3, 2, 1 kind of thing. Uh, all to run. All sentences were running concurrent. So basically, it was a 5-year sentence, but it'd been had so many 7 different charges, but the top one was 5, so that's what I was going to serve. And at the time, it was for like ecstasy and stuff. And do I want to really? I'll leave that for another video. My motives and my beliefs at that time. I mean, it was a change in face. A lot of scenes at the time. You know what I mean? It was going from a disco that you had to wear slacks, shoes, and a tie, to going into a disco where people had shorts on, were sweating, and it was just crazy. And everybody liked each other. Gone were the days of growlers and all the rest. Yeah, it was just nuts. But yeah, it was basically ecstasy. 90 ecstasy. Got 5 years for. That was back in 92 when it was. The big bad. I think Lee Betts was maybe a year after, something like that. But yeah, anyway, I went in, and if we're being honestly, if we're being honest, I thought I was going to walk from that trial, and it was a High Court trial. I think it was for High Court. Um, yeah, it didn't turn out the way I thought, but. Prison. The prison I went to was Perth. It's a maximum security prison. Very old prison in Scotland. It was built during the Napoleonic Wars, and it did used to house Napoleonic prisoners and stuff. Although Napoleon he seldom no. Yeah, it's got quite a checkered history. I mean, they still have the hanging block there and stuff like that. I think it's a listed building, so they can't sort of just demolish it and build a new one. Pretty sure it's got historical value of some sort. But anyway, yeah, it was, and this was way back. There weren't any toilets in the cells. You didn't have electric in the cells. I mean, you had a light, but that was turned on and off from the outside. You had the light turned off at night. It didn't get turned on again till the morning, or if it did, for any kind of emergency, the screw ain't going to come back and turn it on and off and on and off. You either had your light on or you had your light off. And that was it. Your radio, you had to buy batteries. You'd buy a big PP9. It was a big battery, too big for the radio, but you'd wire it so it would last longer and be more economical. Every penny was a prisoner back in these days. Pros and cons and the differences back then. Never had drug tests back in the days, but you did lose a lot of time for different things. You ended up in front of the governor, the dad on 14 days to your sentence, stuff like that. Nowadays, not so much. Okay, walking onto the wing for our first time. Now you got to remember, what was my background? When I went to prison, I was working offshore, so it was kind of like a prison where you got paid money, good money. Yeah, but it was an all-male environment. You were in a bunk bed. Yeah, it was kind of the same. You worked hard, and you got paid good, and then you got home after 2 or 3 weeks as well. So there was that. But I won't say that I went in just blindly. I mean, that's one thing about me. Sorry, two things about me. I've never ever dobbed anybody in. I've held my head up high every prison sentence I've had, because nobody's went in because of loose lips on my part. I've went in plenty of times, every time in fact, because of loose lips or somebody else's fault. Yeah. But yeah, the two things I was going to say. I've never ever squealed on anybody, and I've always took my punishment like a man. Yeah, I went in with my eyes open every time I've done something wrong, and I've accepted the punishment. And I think that's a lot. To do with surviving in jail. You've got to accept your lot. You've got to accept you're in there for a reason. Whether you agree with it or not, you've got to get your head around it, that you're in there, you have done bad, and that's your lot. Everybody's in there for the same, well, not the same reason, but they're all in there because they've done something bad, or something wrong, or something deemed wrong by society. But I'm not going to get into what I believe, what society believes, what's right and what's wrong. I mean, laws are laws, they're written down, and if you choose to ignore them, so be it. I did, and suffered the consequences. Yeah. Anyway, walking onto the wing for the first time. Now, you went through all the reception shit. You've been sitting in there waiting to go to the hall, to wait for a screw to take you over, and you shuffle on over. There's two scenarios when you get to the wing. They're either out on rec or people are locked up behind their door. If they're locked up behind their door, it's quiet. The screw will give you your cell, you'll go in, you'll put your stuff down, you'll look around, and there's not much to see. Like I say, no TVs, no electricity in the cells, no toilets, no running water, nothing like that. Pardon me. My first sentence anyway. All changed now. It's you've got TVs, you've got toilets in your cell. In fact, you've got toilets with privacy in cells. Or last time it was in anyway, which is great. When I went in the first time, I mean, Jesus, I hated even going for a poop in a public toilet. You know what I mean? It's just the way it was. But yeah, you've got to get over all that quick. You get used to peeing in a potty. But first impressions, a hall. When I went in the first time, it was nuts, because it was the old D hall, I think it was. In C hall was, maybe it was the old C hall, but it was a long-term hall. Everybody in there was either there was a couple of double catties, a couple of a lot of lifers, a lot of people. It was all long term. Everybody was doing sort of over 4 years, apart from a couple of the past men, and they were at a dorm at the bottom of the long. But I'll go into that further in different videos. But the initial feeling when you go into there is like it's. Once you get over the madness, the noise, and I mean, there's a lot of noise in there, unnecessary noise, maybe a lot of shouting, yelling. So is the nature of prisoners, I suppose. But once you get over the noise in that, and it settles down and it starts settling in your head, it reminds you a lot of high school, maybe. Or I never went to public school, but I'd imagine that's what public schools like. A lot of kids, growing up kids, but childlike stuff going on in a big hall, and each person of them. Does that make any sense? It's like I'd imagine that's what public schools like, and the screws are kind of like the teachers or the older. I don't know, but yeah, I kind of got that vibe. And another thing that reminded me school was I met a lot of people that I hadn't seen since that sort of time in my life, 16, 17. You know, like the mad people that would eat fucking dog shit on the ground when they were sniffing glue and stuff like that. You wonder what had happened to them. You thought they'd died and whatever. But lo and behold, you go into this hall when there are fucking half a dozen of people you knew from when you were 16. And that was a good thing as well. A lot of people that were inside were kind of like following my trial. My trial lasts for 4 or 5 days or something. And a lot of people that had sort of knew us from outside that I hadn't seen for a while knew that it was coming in. So I was kind of welcomed and offered whatever tobacco and that until I managed to get canteen. But back in that time as well, when you got in, you got like a prisoner's pack kind of thing where you got like a pouch of tobacco and a couple of stamps and whatever, and it came off your wages, £1 a week or something like that till it was paid off. But yeah, that was that. Yeah, it was good seeing people were getting welcomed into the prison when you just go in for the first time. I wasn't like that all the times. Like I say, I've been in 9 different jails, so I mean, like in England, I did know people in England as well. I had co-accused, and they were quite well known in the region that I was arrested in. So yeah, I kind of had a nice comfy landing when I landed in jail there as well. But yeah, first impressions, man. Yeah, it was crazy. And everybody was out for rec. And let me tell you about this time as well. It was the sort of the heyday, what do they call them now? Raves and like all-nighters and stuff like that. And at the time I had like, it was fashionable. I had the curtains and it was like a spiral perm. I used to look good for about 5 minutes when I went on the dance floor, and I used to bounce when I hopped. Within 5 minutes it was like a drowned rat, so that didn't really matter. But yeah, when I went in there, didn't actually think, you didn't have access to conditioner. They did give you little cheap sachets of shampoo, but my hair went frizzy within a day or two. And they used to call me Abo for Aborigine. I Abo from the landings, because my hair went, it was like an afro, basically. But I grew that out, and voila, that's what it looked like. Anyway, yeah. The good thing as well, when I first went in, was long-term prisoners got a single cell as well. I remember it well. It was on the bottom landing, and the single cell I got, luckily enough, OCD wasn't a thing back then. People had it, and now that it's a condition, you could tell what people had it. And I got a cell. The guy that had it actually moved next door, but I got his old cell, and he had OCD, and he used to polish his floor a little bit. His floor was shining, and it was only just black. What's that stuff? Lino that they've got in the kitchen. It was a bit harder, of course, tougher. It was glued down, but he had this mirror shine, and everything was clean, which was great. Not that I had anything. I never even had a radio for a week. I mean, you had to order that stuff out. Then it goes to the prison workshop. They remove the microphones, any recording apparatus, stuff like that. And it was cassettes back then, and radio and stuff. But and that's the thing, when you're sort of used to just watching TV and that, you forget about the you forget about radio and you take radio for granted. But radio is a great medium. I mean, when you have not got a TV and that for a long time, and you start like listening to plays on a radio or stories or documentaries and that, and you close your eyes, you do start to visualize. Actually, it's just like it's like a film, but the visuals and the actors are your own creation in your mind. Yeah, that was kind of good. I enjoyed it. Like I said before as well, I never had drug tests way back yonder. 92, how long is that? 92, 2002, 2012. Yeah, it's 25 years ago, say. Yeah, sorry, I'm meandering, it's early in the morning. Yeah, it was back to basics, and it was all right. Once, like I say, everything is mindset. Now you're going to meet all sorts of people in there, and people that shouldn't have been in there. They should have been in some sort of hospital. People that were just low IQ intelligence. I mean, there was a guy in there that was doing years, and this guy was a dummy. He was young. You could speak to him, and I mean, people took a piss out of him, but I'd got him to do stupid stuff for no reasons. But just talking to him, you could tell that he didn't belong here. And I think he was in for something like phoning up emergency services and sending them on wild goose chases and that. And whether he had done that off his own back or somebody had put him up to, I don't know. But he was that kind of person that you could tell him to go and do something, he'd do it without a thought, just so to get a pat on the back. There was a lot of that kind of people. As I said before, yeah, I met hitmen, real hitmen, government-sanctioned guys that would get dissidents from countries that were in turmoil at that time. You met multi-murderers, one that had killed a couple of old women, buried them, dug them up, necrophiliacs, had sex with them, stuff like that. And to see these people, they look like nothing. You know what I mean? I've pushed bigger out the way to get into a fight, but yeah, these are dangerous, dangerous people. And never is the saying truer than it's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog. And you'll see that all the time there. The most dangerous people in prison are the small, unassuming kind. I would say, I mean, don't get us wrong, if somebody's like 18 stone brick shithouse, you're in trouble if they're on top of you. You know that. Everybody has common sense, basic physics. But, yeah, you'll meet all sorts of people, and don't judge a book by the cover. Some of the big fuckers in there that worked out all the time and used to kind of go around with that air, self-importance and that. I mean, if you see one of these people getting brought down to earth by one of these little grey, unassuming guys, and they're grey because they ain't seen fucking sunlight for fucking 20 years. But yeah, if you see that happening, it's a wonder to behold, actually, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've seen a lot of big guys coming second best. But then again, the tactics some of them use are brutal. Yeah, so way back yonder, and it is different now, it is, because last time I went in, it was, like I say, it was a screws jail. Most of the population, the landings weren't packed. But back when it no TVs, no just radios and stuff like that. You went to cell association, you were allowed that sometimes, you know what I mean? I think it was up to 4 people in a cell during rec, or you could go down to the TV room. You never even got the chance to watch a whole movie. I mean, rec was something like an hour 15. If you were lucky, you maybe got an hour. So if you wanted to watch a movie on an old video cassette, you had to watch it over the space of 2 days. You know what I mean? And half the time you'd watch half a movie, and if you ever seen the other half of it, you'd be lucky. But cell association was kind of cool. If you got in with your camp, you were allowed 4 years in a cell. You'd have the radio on. Like you say, back then there weren't any drug tests, so you'd maybe have a couple of joints or something like that, and have a laugh. And you meet good people. I mean, you're in there. Don't assume that there's other people that aren't like you in there. There is. There are people that are great people. I met some really, really good people in there. Just met arseholes, fucking lots of them. And yeah, a mixed bag. What could you expect, really? But I think if you are facing prison, going to prison, you've got to get yourself sorted up out here. I mean, realise that you are going to get out. You're going to do your time. You get 5 years. You keep your head down. You follow the programme. You're going to be out in 2.5. You will get parole, depending on your previous, maybe, because the only time I got parole, that last sentence, was because I started dialysis in prison, and I think I said in an earlier video, it was costing them an absolute fortune to put on Group 4 3 times a week to take me back and forward to hospital. 2 officers, constant, chained up. Yeah, it was a lot of money, and I did get released on parole. But yeah, I mean, fighting the system gets you nowhere. I've had a few scrapes in that inside when I did sort of fight against it, and it gets you nowhere unless you've got a proper dispute, and if you do, shouting and bawling ain't going to do nothing. But if you follow the complaints procedure, it's a pain in the arse for them. CP1, yeah, you do a form for that, you put that in, the initial screw looks at it. If he can't deal with it, you could do CP2, it goes higher up the chain. And the higher up the chain it goes, it's the more work for them. And it's like everything else. If you're persistent, you will get a result, you will get an answer eventually. And if it's not the answer you want, it's usually some sort of happy medium. So I do recommend that. It was a pure pain in the arse. I think it was when I was crossing borders from England to Scotland, and they had me stuck in Glenacle, I think it was, for a good while. And I was walking up to Perth because Perth was only like 20 miles from sort of where I lived. Yeah, there was a hell of a goings on there, but I CP'd that, and yeah, it was a thorn in their side. But yeah, anyway, the other thing, what else was I going to say? I was going to talk about, yeah, no, we'll get into that in the next video. This was just telling you, going on to the wing, what I'd recommend was I'd have a good mindset. Always keep in mind why you're there. I know it's hard, your head's going to be racing, it is. And unless you're a sort of Jedi master and able to sort of focus your thoughts, I mean, your mind is going to race. Your instincts are going to kick in, survival, fight or flight, all that stuff. And I recommend for the first couple of days, feel the prison out. If there's people you know there, talk. Knowledge is key, knowledge is king. Knowing a couple of people when you first get in is definitely a hand up. When you do first go in there, though, you're going to get everybody and their dog coming in, feeling you out to see if you're a soft touch. You'll get and it's like an OCD of sorts. You'll get these people that, if you've not got what they want, if you got a smoke, mate, if you got a tea bag, mate, if you got and it's a sickness, because if they don't leave with something, you could tell it's bothering them. whether it be a skin, whether it be a cigarette butt for your ashtray. They've got to have something. But yeah, get clear of them right away. Moochers. I suppose they're in all walks of life, but in prison there's thousands of them. And it's a bit of a shame because they don't have anybody outside to pay for canteen. I mean, they have to live on a prison wage, which was, like I say, if you get £7 a week, you're doing well. Right, okay. I'm going to wrap this up. It's early in the morning. I'll maybe do another video later, or maybe just another short and add on. But I hope I've not just waffled a lot of piss for the last 25 minutes or so. But yeah, this is sort of like, as I said, unscripted right off the bat. I just come on and just waffle, like I said before. But anyway, this is Pop signing out. Thanks for the views, thanks for the comments, you know who you are. And I'll have another video up over the weekend. I'll try and structure it a bit more, excuse me. And yeah, what I'll do is I'll look out a few photos, maybe some paperwork, and I'll yeah, we'll cover a different subject. But thanks again. Pop signing out.